All right, meal one going down. We just opened up the shop and I got my large ice cold brew. As always, even in this freezing cold New England winter, it's still iced coffee. And of course, it's black, a couple Splenda in there. But for meal one, basic ground beef, oatmeal, almond butter. For condiments, we got hot sauce, everything but the bagel, Mrs. Dash, and some sea salt. Big Frank's Red Hot Sauce guy, always have been. Meal one, especially ground beef, just keep it basic with the hot sauce. Gonna go ahead, throw some sea salt on there. And this I actually discovered during my last prep. Everything but the salt, Mrs. Dash. This stuff is unbelievable. It goes great on anything. Chicken, ground turkey, ground beef. I really like it in the morning because it reminds me of an everything bagel, which I love. I've been being asked for a while to do a video like this, and we're going to do videos like this where we take a look at what myself, Tanya, and some of our athletes are eating. But the most important thing that I want you guys to take away from these videos is not necessarily the macros that we're eating or the amounts that we're eating, but more the mindset that goes behind having consistent habits and eating on a diet, because that's really what's important. How much food, when you're eating, those things are going to vary person to person based on your daily routine, your daily schedule, also your level of fitness. Have you been doing this for a long time or are you new to this? And then of course your weight, your height, your activity level. So don't take from these videos necessarily the amounts we're eating. Don't try to copy other athletes' meals, but listen and pay attention to the why. Why are they eating the way they're eating? And why do they set up their day the way they set it up? So this is meal one. Meal one is the most important meal to me because it's the first win of the day. So you need to wake up. You need to get that first meal in. This is going to set the tone for the day. And it's usually one of my favorites. And primarily because it really is that first win. It's a reminder to yourself of who you are, what your goals are, and now you can just execute the rest of the day. And listen, those of you who go to the gym, you see it. You see it all the time. You see it year after year. The same people that are going to the gym and they're working out and, they're just staying the same. They're not changing. So what that tells you is something is or isn't happening when they're leaving the gym. So if your goals are to get that consistent change, you need to not only execute in the gym, be consistent in the gym, but you need to be consistent with your food. And when you see people like me, Tanya, our athletes, pros, the people that are making consistent changes that are impressive, they're only making those changes because of how consistent and how disciplined they are to their diet, to every area overall. But the biggest separator, in my opinion, between average results, no results, or impressive results, it all comes down to diet. And you're going to see that, we're going to eat 6-7 meals today. We're going to go to the gym, and it's all about just preparing to be successful so that your day is laid out ahead of you and you can just cross off each thing you need to execute on, and the results just take care of themselves. So I hope from watching this video, you guys get a little bit more behind the mindset of the eating. There are a lot of videos that talk about macros, that talk about amounts of food. This isn't one of those. I want to show you guys what I do day to day and how consistent I am with my diet, in hopes that you can take those habits and apply it not just to the diet, but into other areas of your life. So, because remember, this isn't just bodybuilding. This spills over into every category. If you could be disciplined in this area, if you could improve in this area, you could do that in any area of life. Meal number 2 about to go down. Going to heat that up. Again, we're keeping it simple. This one here, ground turkey, jasmine rice. We also have a side of avocado. Going to heat this up quick. So listen, I just got off a business call and it's mealtime. So that's really how my day is structured. We're working all day and we do have times where the priority is to eat. So if I have to eat while working, while editing content, some of you have even come into the store, you see me eating while I'm ringing you up. And the reason is it has to get done. It's part of who I am. At this point, it's my lifestyle. I don't have to remind myself. It's what I expect of myself. So let's go ahead. Let's eat this meal quick so we can get back to work. All right. So meal two's heated up. We have the turkey, jasmine rice, and avocado meal. Again, it's simple and it's every day. And, people will come in and they'll talk about dieting and the struggles they have with it, and they'll want for me or for Tanya to be able to tell them they can go ahead and do XYZ and still get the same results. Unfortunately, we can't change what works and what doesn't. You need to be able to execute, you need to be able to follow your plan, and there are certain things you're going to have to be okay with eating, and there are certain things you're going to have to be okay with not eating. And really, that's the only way you're going to be able to make your goals a reality. So stop looking for ways around doing the hard work. Stop looking for easy outs. Stop looking for things you can get away with. Dig in, do the hard stuff consistently, and achieve any goal you want. And it's funny because obviously we compete and people will say, oh, well, it's what you do. It's your lifestyle. So it's just easy for you. It's not that way. I have set my life up so that I can bodybuild to the highest of my ability while doing what I love, while growing a business. And what that means is you're going to prioritize what's important to you. And if you're saying that eating a certain way, watching what you eat, working out, if you're saying those things aren't important to you, or you're saying you don't have time for those things, what you're ultimately saying is they're just not a priority. So you can't, on the one hand, have all these goals and aspirations, but not be willing to make sacrifice to make them come true. Because any way you look at it, when you're putting effort into something, you're sacrificing from something else. And maybe that's Netflix at night. Maybe that's video games. Maybe that's going out, socializing, going out to bars, whatever it is, whatever you're saying no to, you're saying yes to something else. So just keep that in mind. Everybody wants a quick fix. Everybody wants an easy way out. There are all these, new supplements and new things that are coming out that guarantee you results. Nothing guarantees you results in any area of life. But I can tell you what, you're definitely not going to get the result you want if you're saying you want to get in better shape, you're saying you want to get bigger, you want to build more muscle, you want to be leaner, but every day you keep buying into the life you have. You keep sticking to the bad habits, the habits that are pushing you further away from that goal, not the ones that are pushing you closer. So that's why, which way does a tree fall? One of my favorite sayings. If every day you're giving into temptation and you're letting those bad habits win, you're leaning the wrong way. But if every day you're 100%, you're executing, you're controlling the controllables, you're leaning towards success. So just keep that in mind. All right. So we got a little working lunch or meal three. So for meal three, this one's a popular one. A lot of you guys have messaged me and told me that you've started incorporating it. I do a chicken, rice, and lettuce bowl. And what I like to do with that is I'll throw my sea salt and I'll throw my Mrs. Dash. And the key ingredient to this meal is the Dijon mustard. But listen, it's got to be the Market Basket brand Dijon mustard. This stuff is fire. Put this on the salad, the chicken, the rice. Now, when my carbs get lower, and in my last prep, I was doing this meal as a no carb meals. So I was just putting the lettuce in with the chicken and throwing the Dijon mustard on there. Now that we have carbs or more carbs in the off season, I'm keeping the lettuce in there. And listen, I do heat it up. And I always tell people the reason why I heat the lettuce up with the chicken or the chicken and the rice is, when you're taking a bite of a chicken finger sub and the chicken, lettuce, mustard, mayo, whatever you got in there, just like a clob of it falls on to the paper, and you just grab it and eat it. And that bite is just loaded with flavor, with sauce, and just a consistency that'll blow your mind. So you got to try this one. Let me open this up though, because it's giving me a hard time. All right, so we finally got this Dijon open. Gonna put a nice healthy dose on there. Boom, all set. Now you just gotta mix it up, get all the flavor into every bite. It's important you get the mustard in with the lettuce. Get mustard in every bite. Get the sesame seeds in every bite. So good. So this one's a staple for me. Try this one out, whether you have carbs or not, whether you're in prep or off season. Lettuce, chicken, rice if you got it, Dijon mustard, everything but the bagel, Mrs. Dash, sea salt. Enjoy. Water's key. It can get boring. I like to use Mio. So I like the sweet tea, 0 calorie. Just add it to the gallon, sip on that throughout the day. Water's overlooked. People will, tell me that their energy's low, or maybe their digestion's off, or their recovery's off, brain fog, mindset, whatever. It's amazing what being hydrated can do. So make sure you're checking that box every day too. Make sure you're not only eating your food, but make sure you're staying hydrated. Part of staying hydrated is making sure that your electrolyte levels are balanced. So make sure that you're getting a good amount of sodium in. That's why you'll see me spray a little bit of salt onto each one of my meals after cooking it, not before. We want that sodium. Sodium is not bad in this application. So salt your meals after cooking, and make sure you stay on top of your water. Use something like Mio or something to flavor it if you have to, but make sure you're getting that in. And one of the questions that you get a lot is, do you ever get sick of, eating the food, eating the meals? Listen, there are absolutely times, especially in your off season, when you're pushing a lot of food volume, where you don't want to eat. But the truth is, that's just a thought. And for me personally, I am so aligned with my goals and my purpose that thought, I'm just going to immediately push that out of my head and do exactly what I don't want to do in that moment. And that's really the hack. If you feel like you don't want to go to the gym, right? It's easy to go to the gym when it's easy to go to the gym. Everybody has these spurts where it's consistent, you're enjoying it, your strength's going up, you like how you look. But then everybody goes through these ruts where maybe, due to the weather, maybe it's like right now, super cold out. Those thoughts are going to come into your head, whether you're a winner, whether you're a pro bodybuilder, whether you're the best bodybuilder, you're going to have those thoughts. The only difference is between somebody who's just, decent at bodybuilding, or maybe somebody who's trying to lose weight. The only difference between them and somebody who actually is good at bodybuilding, or who actually is getting the results, whether it's weight loss, strength, etc., is that they're not giving into those thoughts. We're all human. We're all going to have those thoughts. Push them out of your mind, work through them, and understand that those are the moments that are really going to add up into getting the results you're after. So just stay the course. And to be honest with you, I don't think about whether or not I'm sick of chicken and rice, right? Like, I don't wake up and think, do I want to eat this? What do I want for dinner tonight? Right? My goals are so specific that When I wake up, my day is laid out in front of me and all I'm doing is executing. There's no thought going into that. There's nothing that can deter me from that path. There's nothing that can stop me from doing that. It's as simple as, okay, meal one, meal two, meal three. Okay, we are training here. We're training this muscle group. All that's got to get done, regardless of how you're feeling today, regardless of the weather, regardless of how your day at work went, regardless of if you and your spouse are fighting. You have to get it done. So stop making those excuses. Stop worrying about what you're eating. Understand that food is fuel. It's for a purpose. You shouldn't be eating with your emotions anyway, but just make sure that you understand that listen, this is what it takes. This is what's required. If you could get away with eating cookies, you could get away with eating all this fun stuff, people would do it. They don't, because it doesn't work. This is what works. Boring, mundane, same meals, same food, day in and day out. All right, so we are just about closing up. We got about a little bit under 2 hours left. It's 5:12, so we're going to go ahead and get this last meal that we're going to eat at the shop in. It's another turkey and rice, keeping it consistent. And again, guys, you'll notice, I showed you what I was eating. I didn't talk about how much, because that varies person to person. And if you're watching this, what I want you to get out of this video is the consistency and the mindset behind dieting, how routine it is, how structured it is, how you have to approach it, and less about what specifically you have to eat, because that is where having a coach, having someone who has been there before, who knows how to structure a diet for you based on your current level of fitness, your current weight, your energy output, all of those things. So watching a video of what somebody else eats is great, but only if you're looking at it as, okay, that's the level of discipline I need. Those are the healthy habits I need to have. That's how many times I should be eating a day, or that's the type of foods I should be eating. Don't worry about what that individual is eating. Odds are they're on a completely different level or on a completely different path of fitness. Ran out of Frank's Red Hot, so had to go with the backup. Louisiana Supreme. And let me tell you something. This thing packs some serious heat. Definitely not great for the acid reflux, but it's all I have. So we're going to use the rest of that on this turkey meal because we're out of Frank's. All right, so just got home, about to have the pre-workout meal. We have 64 grams of Bola Gains. I was actually low and had to combine two flavors. So this is chocolate brownie and pumpkin spice. And alongside that, I have my protein shake, just 25 grams before the workout. And what's really exciting about this is actually the final taste test of the Born Ready Nutrition Isolate that we have coming out in just about a week, maybe 2 weeks. But I'm going to give this a final test. Really excited for it. Have this meal and head out to the gym. Really good flavor. Really excited for you guys to try that one. If you haven't tried Bola Gains, you absolutely have to. This was huge on prep for the cravings. We even use this to carb up the night before the show, day before the show. Just really easily digestible and tastes awesome. You don't get sick of it. Off season, a bunch of different flavors. And when food volumes get higher, you can get a good amount of carbs from a source like this without being too full, especially around your training, pre and post workout. Post workout going down, we have another shake and a blueberry muffin. This time we're going to do 3 scoops of isolate. And right now I am taking the blueberry muffin NutriBio. You can get that at Born Ready Nutrition Center, 58 Range Road in Windham, New Hampshire. Great flavor. Been a staple for me. 2 and 3 scoops.
How'd you work out tonight?
Trained back tonight. It was a good workout over at the zoo in Hooksett.
What was your favorite movement from tonight's workout?
I've been really into the single arm pull down machine, really getting good activation in the lat, really getting a good feeling on that movement. So I've been sticking with that, progressing that up. Going to probably keep that in for the next couple of weeks.
Triceps look good.
All right, last meal of the day going down. This is stacked pancakes, but made in the form of waffles with our Ninja waffle maker. Definitely one of my favorite meals. These are one of those meals that keep you on track. You look forward to it at the end of the day. And you can make these so many different ways. You can make them as pancakes, you can make them as muffins, you can make them as waffles. Add some fruit, add some peanut butter, depending on your macros. These are a great meal. Definitely take advantage of these in your diet. You can pick these up at 58 Range Road in Windham, New Hampshire at Board Ready Nutrition Center. Got some raspberries on there, some nuts and more, almond butter, and some turkey bacon strips washed down with a mug root beer. So thanks for watching. That's a full day of eating. We're going to be up in the food soon, and we'll be doing another video just like this. Like, share, and subscribe.